We are going to be testing out the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in this video. We are going to see how it lasts with powder, without powder. We're going to see the coverage and everything in between. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel. Okay, so you may notice that it is not quite as light in here as it normally is because I am filming in the evening and the sun has already gone down. We're getting a late start on this wear test, but I like to swing my ponytail around. Whenever I do wear them, I'm just like, oh, Ariana Grande who? Anyways, if you're new to my channel, my name is Delana and I usually do a wear test like this every Tuesday, but today we're uploading it on a Friday. It is what it is, but we are here now with the wear test and we are doing the, oh my gosh, so excited. We are going to be testing out the e.l.f. 16-hour Camo Concealer in this video. This concealer, it says that it's 16 hours. I will not be testing it for 16 hours, but I will be wearing it for probably around 7 to 8 hours, like a typical work day, just to see how long it lasts. So it is $5 on the e.l.f. website itself, but I'm also going to look up the price difference at Ulta and Target and stuff like that here in just a second, but let me really quick read you the details on it. So on the e.l.f. website, it says a full coverage 16-hour wear concealer featuring a large doe foot applicator to conceal, correct, contour, and highlight for flawless skin. The highly pigmented formula is lightweight, dries matte, and won't settle into fine lines or creases. Ideal for all skin types. I'll be honest, I have worn this concealer several times throughout the past week or so because I wanted to start to develop my thoughts on it. I actually used it for the first time in my video that I did. I did a collaboration video with my good friend Messy Lynn is her Instagram name. I will link that video right here. You guys can check it out, but I used it for the first time in that video and was shocked by the coverage because the coverage is incredible with this. You'll see here in just a second. It looks like it's actually $5 at Ulta as well. Maybe Ulta does not jack up the price on that one. Usually Ulta has a significant difference in price whenever it comes to drugstore products. Like it can be like $3 to $5 different. So that's why I always like to check the price at Ulta in comparison to how it is other places. Yeah, it looks like it's actually the same price at Ulta. Oh, let's see the ounces on it. We forgot to see the ounces. 0.203 fluid ounces. So you are getting a little bit less. So this is 0.2 and some change, and then the Tarte Shape Tape is like 0.3 and some change. So you are getting a little bit less product in this, but definitely not a $22 difference in terms of the amount of product that you're getting. So I'm so excited to try this on with you guys on camera. So what I have learned from that first, if you go and you watch that other video, it was hilarious because I put way too much on because I was used to all my other concealers, including the Shape Tape. But this one I feel like actually has more coverage than the Shape Tape. So I already have my corrector on. Oh, I was about to put that on. I'm like probably tempting you guys now. You guys are like, just put it on already. I'm already wearing my color corrector, which is just the Laura Mercier Flawless Fusion Concealer in the shade 1C. And for foundation today, I'm wearing the Cosmetics CC Illumination. That is what I have on my face right now. And I am going to set one side of my face with powder and not set the other side, just like we usually do. So I'm only putting that much on. All right, I'm going to apply it down, center of my face. Okay, so now I'm just gonna take my Real Technique sponge. This guy desperately needs to be washed, but do you guys see the coverage on this? I mean, look at it. It's freaking amazing. I did try applying this with a little teeny tiny brush in the other video that I used this in. I didn't really like it. It was a teeny tiny eyeshadow brush because it was like makeup roulette, so it wasn't necessarily the correct brush to apply it with, but the texture of it and stuff like that, I was like, I didn't think I was gonna like using a brush anyways. So it's definitely very matte. Like I would say it's more matte than the Shape Tape, and it sets quicker than the Shape Tape, so work fast. And I would say a little bit goes a longer way than the Shape Tape. Part of it may be the color that I have, so it just looks like a higher contrast, you know, from my skin, and so I'm like, whoa, that all that product is really going far, but I feel like that would only add to it a little bit. I don't know. See, this is the only thing. This is what I've thought every time I've used this concealer, and I've used it in different ways. It's fine, coverage is good and stuff like that, but I feel like underneath my eyes and like down onto my cheeks and everything, like I was so happy with the texture of my cheeks and on my skin in general before I applied the concealer, but then after applying the concealer, I feel like I have more texture on my cheeks. To me, it looks a little bit heavy. Here, I'm gonna show you guys here in just a second. Before I come in close, I'm going to set it really quick with powder. Recently, I've been using this little Bye Bye Pores Press powder. I really like the texture of this powder, so I've especially been liking it over this concealer because it helps kind of smooth out the texture, because this is just like a really smoothing powder. So I'm just gonna take that on the other side of my sponge and press it underneath my right eye. The reason why I only set one side of the face, if you're new to my channel, is because I don't want to basically be like, oh my gosh, this concealer is so amazing, you know, and then somebody goes and they decide to try the concealer and they don't use any of the prepping or the setting techniques that I do, and then they're like, what the heck, this concealer is crap. You know what I'm saying? Maybe this concealer only works well with setting powder. And so I like to see how it lasts without setting and priming and stuff like that, and then with. Now, I'm not wearing any primer today because I'm wearing several products on top of it, so it's not gonna make a huge difference. But the e.l.f. Cosmetics CC cream and then the, why did I just blank? The color corrector, the Mercier color corrector that I'm using. Those are the only things that we have to take into consideration. Okay, so I'm going to set my chin, but I'm not going to set like the forehead and the nose where I applied it. So that way we can see how it wears in other areas other than just the face. But it's gonna be kind of funny because like this side is a little bit more glowy and then this side is gonna be a little bit more matte, so. Okay, so this is the set side. I have the setting powder all throughout here. And then I have the setting powder on my chin. And then this is without the setting powder. There's not like a huge difference other than this side looks more matte and has taken down the color just slightly, like it doesn't look as white, you know what I'm saying? And then this side has obviously a little bit more glow and is a little bit brighter, but not necessarily more covered, you know what I'm saying? It's just like this is taking down the color a little bit. But overall, like on this side, I just feel that the texture, like do you see underneath my eyes and like around in this area, like the texture is just not my favorite. The texture, the only way that I can describe it is it feels like you put too much powder on. Like that's the kind of texture that it's giving me, that like I packed on the powder and now it just looks really heavy. And that's not on this side. It's like more so on this side. Like this side that actually has powder looks smoother to me than this side. However, this side looks drier because of the powder. Anyways, all in all, I just feel like it looks a little bit heavy, but sometimes things look really heavy whenever we first start off. Like there have been several foundations that I started wearing. I didn't like them initially, like the Bare Minerals Bare Pro foundation. I'll link that video right here. I didn't like how it looked initially. I was just kind of like eh about it, but then at the end of the day, I was like, I really like this. So this could be another one of those products. I'm really gonna be like hyper focused on paying attention to how it lasts since we're doing a wear test. Even though I've worn it before, I don't really pay as close attention until I'm doing a wear test. So it helps me, and more so it helps you guys. So this is where we are right now. I am going to go and apply the rest of my makeup. It's a little before 7, so it is quite late in the day, but don't worry, I'm gonna be up real late tonight because I got lots of work to do. So yes, that is where we are right now. I'm gonna go eat, I'm gonna go apply the rest of my makeup, and I will see you guys in a few hours. All right, so we are about 4 hours in, actually a little bit over 4 hours in, and I'm getting tired, but we have got to finish out this wear test and I still have a lot of work to do, so. Okay, so basically, I feel like I don't hate it, but I don't love it. I mean, for $5, it's hard to be hard on it, but you can see here, it is not a creaseless concealer. Like, it's creasing, it's settling all into my fine lines. This is the unset side. This is the set side, and it seems to be pretty okay. By the way, I barely put any makeup on today. It's just been one of those days. But on this side, it has obviously creased quite a bit. And then on this side, it has, you know, settled a little bit into the fine lines just right here on my lash line, but like not really. I don't mind it on this side. It does look a little bit more dry and textured though than my normal concealers do, whether that's Tarte Shape Tape, and especially the Too Faced Born This Way multi-sculpting concealer. That stuff is freaking amazing and it looks so good underneath the eyes. But yeah, I just I'm not a huge fan of it, but it is only $5. So I would say if you're like on a major budget, like you are like pinching pennies, like you kind of want something that's somewhat close to the Shape Tape, going with the Makeup Revolution concealer, you're probably better off. But we still have several more hours left in the day, so things could change. Like I'm just not loving it, but I'm not hating it. Still have several hours left, so I will do one more check-in right at the end of the night and give you guys my complete, total, final, put together thoughts. All right, I have a question for you guys. What do you think of this little background? I got this divider and I think I like it. I think it's kind of cool. I don't know. All right, guys, so it is the end of the night and I am ready to close out this wear test. All in all, I would say that obviously it wears so much better on the set side. Setting things with powder just make such a freaking big difference. In terms of how this concealer lasts without setting powder, I really don't feel that it is anything amazing and substantial, but being that it is $5 and that it has a decent texture and decent longevity and everything in between, I feel like it's also not a bad concealer. So this is how it is looking on the unset side. It has gotten a little bit like gathered and separated around my pores, which I really don't like it when products do that. There's definitely worse, but I feel like at the 7-hour mark, if it's already doing it this much, that it's only gonna do it more the later I wear it, and so I really don't like that. However, it has not done that at all on the set side, so that's a good sign. It has broken up a little bit around my nose on the set side, and then on the unset side has broken up a little bit. I will say the days that I've worn it before, I did notice it was very odd. My foundation would start to wear off, and then right where my foundation and my concealer met, it would start to look patchy. It's so hard to explain. It's not really doing it that much right now, but it would just do this weird thing where it was like you could tell where the concealer started because it would start to get this weird patchy texture. It didn't look cute. It has worn off a little bit on my nose. I'm not super worried about that because I have been touching my nose a lot, so I'm not gonna blame the product for that. But it has worn off on my chin, and I don't really know why. I was wearing a scarf, but it wasn't like a cozy like neck scarf. Like I wore it low down here, so it wasn't really touching my chin. So I don't really know why it has worn off this much because I set it and everything. And then right in here, so I did not set this area at all, and it has definitely, I mean, it has sat right in that fine line right there. Like, yeah, very prominent. Usually my products never ever do this, so this makes this one little line that I have look like it's 10 times deeper than it actually is. So I don't really like that. I am just feeling like this concealer would probably be good for like spot concealing since it's so high coverage. Like it would be really good for concealing blemishes and stuff like that. Or if you have like really oily skin, I feel like it would probably sit better on oily skin. I'm more like normal to dry, so I cannot vouch for that. But I feel like this is just so matte that it needs like some good hydration underneath it. And so if somebody has oily skin, it might wear a little bit better on them, but I don't really see that being really the case. I mean, I don't know. It is only $5 and it's not a bad concealer, but I feel like I said foundation several times. I meant to say concealer. I definitely feel like it's not a bad concealer, but it's definitely not going to be my first choice. I just don't want to put on my concealer and then have to worry about whether it is looking heavy and cakey or not, especially with it being a 16-hour wear concealer. I'm like, it may stay on your face for 16 hours, but it's not going to wear well for 16 hours, especially if you don't do any setting techniques. Like it's already worn off a little bit and it's only at the 7-hour mark. So I don't see how it would last 16 hours, you know, and still look somewhat decent. So I know that I barely put on any makeup in this video because it was like a little bit of a crazy day, but I definitely wanted to get this wear test out for you guys because this is a brand new product and everybody's talking about it. So I wanted to share my thoughts on it in case you are interested in it. If you like these kinds of videos, go ahead and check out this video right here where I checked out the well-hyped L'Oreal Infallible Foundation, the Pro Fresh Wear. Oh my gosh, definitely check that one out, and then hit the little subscribe button right here, and I will talk to you guys down in the comments. Bye!